Welcome to my video on how to light for a vlog. Now this is a really crucial video because lighting, other than your camera and your lens, is one of the best ways at improving your video quality. And you don't have to spend thousands of dollars to make it look good. The setup that we have right now with Seth and I in LT Labs, we have a key light over here, and then we have a fill light over here, and then we have backlight. And that's called 3-point lighting. And this setup was achieved for roughly $200. Now that may seem like a lot, but there's actually other ways you can do it, and I'll go into some of those ways here in a bit. So first of all, 3-point lighting. It consists of a key and a fill and a backlight. And you'll see some of this B-roll footage of the key light and of the fill light, how they complement each other. So right now, they're sitting at right around 3700 Kelvin. And Kelvin is basically a measurement of light. And so you have anywhere from about 3700 to 5600, 5700 Kelvin. And so they range from all the way in this like yellowish red arena all the way up into these blues. And basically what that means is that's all of the color, the light spectrum that you're going to be wanting to use for a lighting setup. And so that's one of the keys that you want to figure out, is because those lights are back here for our backlight. Those can only stay at, those are the tungsten lights, and those can only stay at one color temperature. So what I'm doing is both of these lights, fortunately enough, have color matching capability. So I turned a knob and switched them into roughly a 3700 to 4000 Kelvin temperature. Now that's not the only thing that I did to make this look the way it did. The other key to this is having the key or the fill light at 1/3 of the amount of that your key light is. Fill light, yeah, real. So you have the key over here, and then you have the fill. And so what you want to have is the fill at 1/3 of the key. And so what that basically does is create some contrast in the face. So you can see here's my fill right here, and then here's my key right over my face, and then the backlight over there. So that's one of the main things to learn, is not to have both of them like on your face where you can't see any contrast. So you want to have it at 1/3. That's the first tip. The second tip is diffusion. Some lights don't have any diffusion, and that'll just create this really harsh look on your face. And that's one thing that you don't want to have. You want to have this natural like sun look to it, where it's really just like, it looks like it's kind of like a blurred light almost. And so I actually add some diffusion here, and you can do that with like cellophane and some like other like cooking like products where they have like a sheen or a tint to them, and just stick that over like literally any light, and that could be like your key and fill light. So then to go to the backlight, there's a couple ways to do a backlight. A backlight could be like a hair light, where it's like directly behind you and pointed into light the back of your shoulders and stuff like that. We haven't gotten to that point yet. I just had some extra tungsten lights hanging around, and I was like, I wonder what it would look like if I put those behind my monitor. So I put those behind the monitor, and it really just makes the background pop. Because before this, it was just like the monitors sticking up, and it actually looked pretty terrible, and I didn't even want to film anything, and I just found those lights, and I was like, oh, that's a good use for them. So the key to lighting for a vlog, if you don't have anything like right now, is just getting like a light that can go off to the side. Not exactly direct over face. I'm not a huge fan of that look. It makes the shadows kind of unrealistic on your face, because there's literally no shadows, and that's not realistic at how you look at life and how you look at other people. Like when you look at other objects with the sun, there's always shadows. So I want to create some shadows. And so that's where having the key and the fill light really help, or moving off, if you just have one light, moving off like 30 degrees to one side. That's really gonna dramatically improve your image. Put some diffusion on there, and then there you go. You have a really good setup right there. So all in all, a few things that you'll want to learn is having a 3-point lighting setup, and then having 1/3, once you get that 3-point lighting setup, having it at 1/3, having your fill at 1/3 of the key, and then having a backlight. And that's really the key to achieve like a really professional looking image, other than having like a really good lens. Because this camera right now has the stock lens on it, and honestly it's not really that good. This image could look very much more professional with a like 50 nifty 50 at like 1.8 and have nice shallow depth of field. But I mean, I don't have the money to buy one yet, so that's where I invested in more into lighting, because that's more versatile, and that will get the image to look better at probably a better price point than buying like a nice lens. Because if you have a nice lens and no good light source, then you're pretty limited by that. But if you have a kind of a junky lens and some decent light, you're really looking at a better image overall. So my advice would be is to invest in some lighting gear. If it's just even like household stuff, do that. You gotta start somewhere. That's my advice. Use diffusion, and that is the best way to achieve a better image. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and comment and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.